Welcome to Oracle Application Express, Apex Regions, linking to other pages. One of the most powerful ways of increasing the functionality of your Oracle Apex application is by linking pages together so that when end users see information on a screen, they automatically have a link to take them to another part of your application. This is really useful when you're looking at reports. A report may list a whole bunch of information, and you can turn those pieces of information into links that users can click on and then edit that piece of information if you'd like. We saw a little bit of this functionality when we created a page that automatically had a form and a report generated on it. The reports page included icons along the left-hand side of the screen that allowed us to click on it and be taken to a different page where we can then edit the information we see on the report. We're going to take a look at how we can do this programmatically inside of our Apex applications in this lesson. In order to fully understand how Oracle implements this technology inside of Apex, we need to take a look at the URL that's generated for you when you run an application. So let's say I'm going to run page number 2 here. When I click on the Run button, I'm redirected to page 2 inside my application. If you've been looking at the URLs in our lessons up to this point, you'll see that all of the URLs follow the same basic format. The server name, or in my case, the IP address where my Oracle Application Express instance is running, the port number of what Oracle Application Express is listening on, a /apex to indicate what we want to run inside of our application, this F*P equals, and then a set of numbers separated by colons. Everything to the right of the equal sign are parameters that drive what we're going to see inside of our Oracle Application Express application. The main internal procedure that Oracle Application Express uses to display its pages is a procedure called F. The question mark signifies that parameters are going to be passed to procedure F inside of my Apex environment. The P equals lists all of the parameters that are going to be used for this particular procedure. The parameters are separated by colons. Each one of the parameters that gets passed to the F procedure is going to tell us a little bit about our application. The first parameter is the application ID. In this case, it's 101. Second parameter is the page. The third parameter is the session ID. The fourth parameter you can see is not specified here. That's going to be the request keyword. It's free text where you can specify a string to react to a process or a region condition. Under normal circumstances, you don't have to worry about this. The next parameter is the debug parameter. On the bottom of the screen here, you can see that I can set the debug switch on if I'm logged in as an administrator or a developer to this application. If I click debug, you'll see how it changes the URL to yes, and I can gather debug information. I'm going to turn debug off. The next parameter is the clear cache parameter. You can put a page ID or a list of page IDs here to clear the cache for these pages, where you set the session state to null. The next parameter is the parameter list for the target page that we're interested in, and the next parameter after that is a comma-separated list of values that are going to drive the query on the page we're looking for. The last parameter that we can specify is if this page is printer-friendly or not. If we set it to yes, it'll switch the page into printer-friendly mode. Let's take a look at an example of what a typical link will look like. I'm going to copy this link. What does this link do? It takes us to another page and it pulls up the record in question that we're looking for. So if I want to pull up movie ID number 9, which in this case is the movie 50/50, I can copy this link address and I'm going to paste it into my editor. So we have an indication of what this link does. Just like the link that's up here on my existing page, I have my server name or IP address, my port number, the word Apex, I'm calling the procedure F, and here are the parameters I'm going to pass. I'm going to pass the application ID 101. I'm going to pass the page number, which is page number 3. I'm going to pass a session ID. I'm going to skip over the request, the debug, and the clear cache parameters. And for page number 3, I'm going to automatically run a query where I'm looking at a variable called P3 movie ID, and I'm going to pass it the value of number 9, which is what my movie ID is here. If I want to see, let's say, A Few Good Men, it's going to pass the exact same parameters, except it's going to pass number 28. I can copy this link paste it here, and you can see that it's passing the value 28 to P movie ID. If I click on this link, I'm taken to page 3, and P movie ID is populated with the number 28. I can't just copy this URL because Oracle is maintaining information about the cookie. So the session ID I get for this is protected. I can't just pull this up, let's say, in a different browser. Let me go into Internet Explorer. And if I try to paste that URL in, it doesn't let me do it because the cookie and session information hasn't been authenticated in my Internet Explorer browser. But once I am authenticated, I can use this type of logic to increase the functionality of my application.